In this video, I'm just going to do some addition and subtraction of complex numbers. Let's start off with the addition problem A. When you are adding two complex numbers, you need to add the real parts and the imaginary part. The term that has I in it, we call it imaginary part. The other one we call real part. So when you are adding two complex number, in essence you are adding the real parts to real parts and imaginary parts to imaginary parts. So the real part is here, RE, let's put it this, and this is imaginary. This is real and this is imaginary. So I'm going to add the real parts. So negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. Then I'm going to add the imaginary parts. 4i plus negative 7i is going to be negative 3i. And that's it. It's that simple. So when you are adding these two complex numbers, you should get negative 2 minus 3i. Now let's do the next one, which is B. In this one, you need to be careful. There is a negative sign here. That means you're subtracting, correct? So it's like having a negative 1 in front of it. So you need to distribute this negative sign. So it's going to be the first one stays as it is 1/2 minus 3 over 4i. Then negative 1 times 2/3, negative 1 times 2/3, I mean 3 halves is going to be negative 3 halves. Then negative 1 times negative 1/8 y is going to be positive 1/8. I meant I, not y. Negative 1 times 1/8 I is going to be 1/8 I. Negative and negative is going to make it positive. Anyway, so now this is my real part. This is my real part. I need to add these two. This is my imaginary part. This is my imaginary part. So I need to add these two. If I add the real parts, I get 1/2 minus 3 halves is going to be 1 minus 3 over 2, which is negative 2 over 2, which is just negative 1. So it's just negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1. How about the imaginary parts? If I add them, so negative 3 over 4i plus 1 over 8i. Just as you would add two fractions, you just need to have the same denominator. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2 and divide it by 2 is going to be 3 times 2 is 6. So 4 times 2 is 8. So 3 over 4 is the same as 6 over 8. Then I plus 1/8 I. And now you have same denominator, so you can combine them. Negative 6 plus 1 I divided by 8, which is going to be negative 5 over 8i. So it's going to be negative 5 over 8i. And that's your answer when you subtract this complex number from this complex number. I hope that this discussion was helpful. Thank you very much.